Sometimes the greatest food innovation is combination.
You don't put stuff on top of the ice cream. Ben & Jerry's put it in the ice cream. I mean, bam.
What would you like us to do? Design spaghetti they can eat with a spoon?
Why not? SpaghettiOs.
He pitches a lollipop with a Tootsie Roll inside of it. This is revolutionary.
I love the series. It's the food that built America. Returns for a new season this weekend. The History Channel show explores the origin stories of some of the biggest names in food. And the season features Ben & Jerry's, Betty Crocker, SpaghettiOs, and much more.
Joining us now is the host, Adam Richman. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's interesting because they're just like good stories. So you think of Ben & Jerry's, I thought, okay, this must be like food scientists or dairy farmers or something. What's the backstory there?
Well, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think that's sort of the stock and trade of the entire Food That Built America brand, is that we think of Ben & Jerry's and Heinz and Hershey's as these monoliths, these sort of American dining or food icons, but there's human stories. So Ben & Jerry's are part of this continuum that exists between Steve's Ice Cream and Cold Stone Creamery. Steve himself was a cab driver who used to make ice cream at home and wanted to sort of create like a slow churned ice cream like his grandma made. Ben & Jerry saw Steve's and they wanted to actually sort of build on that. And people don't realize Ben Cohen had a condition called anosmia, which actually like messes up the way that your brain interprets what's going on in your mouth. So he couldn't perceive smells and tastes.
Oh, wow.
So by making a more boldly flavored ice cream with big chunks of stuff in it, then suddenly it's about mouthfeel and not about just standard flavor and smell. And so this whole new flavor profile and this, you know, amazing sort of treasure trove of crunchy stuff in ice cream is born.
You know, I found so interesting. We watched the episode on the chocolatiers, and you think about, oh, it's fun, it's candy, you know, everybody's having a great time. But there was a lot of intrigue and deception in some of the ways and strategies that people use to get ahead. What are some of the stories that really struck you?
Oh my gosh. Well, even in the first episode of this season, I think it's kind of baffling to think that there was a time in America where Italian food was seen, especially I'm talking to people in Chicago, the notion of like Italian food is too garlicky, too spicy, too ethnic. And it's the truth. In the Prohibition, people wanted nothing to do with it. It was when GIs returned from World War II that they wanted the foods that they had while stationed abroad in Italy. And then finally, it was someone realizing that there was a market for this and there was 20 million children to make a spoonable spaghetti and created the SpaghettiO by cutting a tube pasta into little tiny rings.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. In terms of, you know, like with Coca-Cola, there's always all these myths behind how something got created.
Sure.
And I was curious about, with Dr. Pepper, who created it? What was the origin story there?
Gotcha. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but the thing that people keep forgetting is that foods sort of don't exist just arbitrarily. Like sometimes there is just like really cool inspiration, but it's a very kind of fascinating dynamic because sometimes history dictates food and the other way around. But when Prohibition took liquor out of the equation in society, people needed places to gather. So you saw the rise of the soda fountain at a druggist's. And people had been making health tonics since the Wild West in the 1800s. So Doc Pemberton, who created Coca-Cola, for example, was a Civil War veteran who was looking for a tonic to cure pain from his war injuries. Dr. Pepper was a doctor, a druggist, who had created a tonic. And that's the same thing with root beer, even though Native Americans have been using things like birch bark or sarsaparilla root to create medicinal tonics. Add a little bit of fizzy water, a little bit of sugar syrup, maybe some coloring, and, you know, I'm a pepper, you're a pepper.
All right.
Well, the new season of The Food That Built America premieres Sunday on the History Channel. And for more, you can follow Adam on social media. Adam, it's a great show. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.